Welcome back, everyone. While the national unemployment rate remains at 8.2%, things may be looking up across other parts of the country. In the states, well, reports showing 17 states that elected Republican governors in 2010 making major improvements in the past year, this including Nevada, Florida, Michigan, and Ohio, which are all considered to be key swing states in November. So what does this mean for the 2012 presidential election? Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker is my guest. Good morning to you, Governor.
Good morning. Good to be with you. Although I got to kid you guys, I just as an aside heard you joking about Supreme Court Justice Scalia and whether he does chores. I just mopped the kitchen floor yesterday after church, so even guys in office can do that.
Of course you did. Of course.
I did, literally my home in Wauwatosa.
I know, and thank you so much for pointing that out. We're looking for all the emails about Brian and Steve coming up as well. Let's talk about unemployment, though, because if we look at the facts about Wisconsin, the state that you govern currently, it's dropped from 7.7% to 6.8%. Why?
Well, and a year ago we were much higher. We're way above 7%. A couple years ago it was over 9.2%. And that's because we put a different focus on creating jobs in our states. In fact, you mentioned it, all 17 states that elected Republicans as governors in 2010 all saw a drop much greater than the drop in the national unemployment rate. And I think that's because of a renewed focus of Republican governors, whether it's in my state, whether it's other states throughout the Midwest and across the country, who put the focus on people creating jobs, not just the government. And I think that tells you what would happen if we put a chief executive in who thought the same way in our national level.
So let's take a look at those states that you alluded to, the 17 states with Republican governors. Here they are. There are also 8 states with Democratic governors where the unemployment rate also went down. So how do you factor that in your mind as a Republican governor? What did the Democrats do that worked as well?
Well, I think in a number of states, and you do have some discerning Democrat governors out there as well, they recognize that the government's not the solution, that getting government out of the way, putting the power back in the hands of entrepreneurs, of consumers. You look at an overall trend across that spectrum where states like ours, where we lowered the overall tax burden. In fact, we saw property taxes go down for the first time in 12 years on a median valued home. We reined in our regulations so that we do enforce is about common sense, not about bureaucratic red tape. We cut back on the frivolous and out-of-control lawsuits in our state. Those are all things that showed that when we say Wisconsin's open for business, we mean it. And I think those are things that Governor Romney's talking about at the national level, which I think provides a great contrast to what we see in Washington.